Most mornings I used to wake up already feeling behind. Not because I wasn't trying, but because everything I did felt like a scramble to catch up with some version of healthy that never actually fit my life. It was always one more routine, one more reset, one more thing to check off in the name of self-care. But instead of feeling grounded, I just felt tired. If you're in that space trying to build healthier habits without turning your life into a project, this video walks through a few shifts that helped me feel more stable, not more perfect. Start with water, not willpower. It sounds simple, and it is. But this one habit quietly changed how my mornings felt. When I used to wake up groggy, I'd go straight for caffeine. It felt like the only thing that could snap me out of the fog. But I'd still crash mid-morning and feel jittery before noon. What helped more than I expected? Drinking a full glass of water before touching coffee. Now, it's the first thing I do. No tracking app, no fancy bottle, just one glass while I wait for the kettle to boil. It gives my body a second to catch up before I ask it to push forward. And most days, it helps me feel a little more in control before the day even starts. Let's move to a second shift that helps keep that steadiness going. Make yourself get up. There's nothing productive about hitting snooze 7 times. But for a while, that was my entire morning routine. I wasn't being lazy, I was just exhausted, and the phone right by my head made it way too easy to delay the day. Moving my alarm to the other side of the room felt annoying at first. But once I did it, I noticed something. I actually got up. No internal debate, no dragging it out, just up. It didn't make me a morning person overnight, but it did give me back a bit of momentum. That physical shift, standing up to turn it off, helped me start moving before my mind had time to talk me out of it. The next shift builds on this kind of subtle momentum without adding more pressure. Do one thing before you think. There's a weird space right after waking up. You're vertical, but not really functional. That in-between fog makes it easy to stall. What helped was choosing one default action to do before I think about it. For a while, it was brushing my teeth. That's it. No questions, no planning, just get up, go brush. The predictability matters more than the task. It's one move that cuts through indecision. Once I'm doing something, it's easier to keep moving. Think of it like a mental handrail, something to grab when your brain's still waking up. And the best part, you don't need motivation. Just a small anchor to carry you through the first 5 minutes. Let's keep building that momentum, especially around habits that reduce friction. Don't let your phone start the day. There's a specific kind of mental clutter that comes from opening your phone the moment you wake up. I didn't realize how noisy it was: messages, updates, random videos, until I stopped starting my day that way. For me, even 5 minutes of quiet before looking at a screen helped shift the tone of my whole morning. I wasn't reacting to the world before I even had a chance to check in with myself. Now, I leave my phone face down and make space for one small thing. First, pouring water, opening a window, stretching my back. Nothing big. Just something that belongs to me before the outside world floods in. This quiet boundary made it easier to protect the rest of my day from spiraling into overstimulation. Offload 1. Thought. Some mornings feel scattered before you even leave the bedroom. And when my brain starts spinning early, the rest of the day feels harder than it needs to. I started writing down just one thing, either what I'm dreading or what I want to remember. It takes 30 seconds tops. No journal prompts, no perfect handwriting. Sometimes it's a to-do, sometimes it's just, I don't want to cook tonight. It's not about productivity. It's about putting one piece of mental weight somewhere other than your head. That single act clears space and reminds you that not everything has to be solved right now. The next habit helps hold on to that sense of lightness as the day goes on. Pick a default breakfast. I used to waste energy every morning asking the same question, what should I eat? And 9 times out of 10, I'd skip food or eat something random that didn't help. Then I started defaulting to one go-to breakfast. Something simple and reliable like toast with almond butter or eggs and greens. It wasn't about meal planning perfection. It was about cutting one decision out of my morning. You can change it later, of course, but just having a default clears a surprising amount of brain noise. And when the day starts with fewer choices, it tends to stay calmer. This kind of decision simplifying leads right into another habit that quietly supports your mornings, even though it happens the night before. Wait before you caffeinate. I used to think I needed coffee the second my eyes opened, like it was the only way to function. But I started waiting 30 to 45 minutes before drinking it, and it made a surprising difference. I didn't crash as hard, and I felt a little more steady by mid-morning. It's not a rule, just a shift. I drink some water first, do a small task, and then ease into caffeine when I'm already a bit more awake. This one tweak helped reduce that wired then drained pattern I used to call my energy. From here, let's move into a mindset shift that's more about how we end the day than how we start it. Close the day, don't collapse into it. I used to end the day by collapsing into the couch dishes, undone lights, still on laundry somewhere in the dryer. It felt like survival. But waking up to that mess only made things harder. So I started giving myself a 10-minute closing shift each night. Not a full cleanup, just a reset. Load the dishwasher, wipe the counter, pick up what's in the way. It's not glamorous, but it works. I sleep better, knowing tomorrow won't start in chaos. And it feels less like pressure, more like taking care of future me. The next habit keeps this energy going in the background without asking much from you. Set up. Just one thing. Sometimes the hardest part of the morning isn't waking up, it's figuring out what to do next. I noticed I kept stalling over small things like, where are my socks, or what should I wear? So I started prepping just one thing the night before. Maybe it's laying out clothes. Maybe it's setting out vitamins or putting the French press by the kettle. It's small, but the payoff is real. That one setup reduces friction. It makes the morning feel just a bit more supported, like someone's already looking out for you. And that someone is just last night you, making life easier in the quietest way. Let's bring that same quiet support into the way we shop, plan, and think, without turning it into another chore. Write it down. While you remember, every week I used to overthink meals and still forget basics like olive oil or garlic. Now I keep a running grocery list on the fridge. Anytime I notice we're low on something, I write it down. That's it. No fancy apps or meal planning systems. Just one small habit that stops the mental clutter of what do we need again. It's a quiet way to reduce those last-minute store runs, and it frees up brain space for more important things than wondering if we have milk. The final habit isn't about tasks at all. It's about how we talk to ourselves along the way. Let it be good enough. Some days will feel smooth, others won't. that doesn't mean you failed. For a long time, I held myself to routines I couldn't sustain, thinking that discipline was the only way to stay afloat. But what helped more was letting most things be good enough, not perfect, not optimized, just okay for today. Sometimes that means laundry's clean, but still in the basket, or lunch is just toast and an apple. What matters is how much pressure you take off, not how many boxes you check. That shift, more than any habit, is what made life feel lighter. Most of these shifts aren't about doing more. They're about doing things in a way that actually supports your energy, not drains it. Even one or two of them can make your mornings feel less chaotic and your evenings more settled. That kind of steadiness builds quietly, and it makes everything else feel more doable. If this video helped ease some pressure off your day, feel free to like or subscribe. It lets us keep making content that meets you where you are.